Hey guys, Martin here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I wanted to talk about an interesting theory that has been brought to my attention about the possibility of some big EZAs that we have all been expecting for the anniversary potentially not going to happen because of some other information that has been presented in game and some information that was given out on the pre-stream as well. So I want to preface this by saying that obviously there's absolutely no confirmation of this whatsoever. It is just a theory, and you know, it's not something that I want to happen either. I feel like if this is something that actually does play out in this way, the community response would be overly negative, and I do think there are some good reasons to think that it's not going to happen outside of just the public perspective. But either way, we'll go ahead and jump in and talk about it here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We are getting closer and closer to hitting 30k subs. We'd love to hit that by the end of the anniversary, so do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button as well, help boost the channel in the algorithm. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the topic. So obviously the two big EZAs that everyone is looking forward to for the anniversary is the 7th year anniversary LRs, the Tech God Goku and Vegeta, and the physical Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Now, obviously in terms of in-game or like news on social media or anything like that, there hasn't been anything to say that these guys will EZA. But of course, it has been a running trend for the last couple of anniversaries now that they have been EZAing these anniversary units from the 3 years prior. So obviously with the 9th anniversary, we got the EZAs for the 6 year LRs, UI Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta. So it's just a natural progression, I should say, that these guys, the 7 year EZA LRs, should EZA during the 10th anniversary. Now, something that we talked about in the months leading up to the anniversary, I had been saying for months on stream, like those of you guys that have been out to the streams and stuff late last year, you know that I've been saying this, that I wasn't 100% convinced that these guys would be like locked in for an EZA, because one of the big things that we were speculating about is, of course, would the 10th anniversary bring a new leader skill increase, which of course we now know that it has. But without knowing that in advance, that was one of the big questions that I had was, you know, if they're not going to increase the leader skills above 200%, what would they actually do for these guys' leader skills? Because all they could really do is give them like 4 key instead of 3. One suggestion that I thought was really good was maybe give them a second category for the plus 30%. That would potentially be really good, especially because these guys got a much worse leader skill. So if they got like power beyond Super Saiyan as their extra 30%, and then these guys got like fused fighters or something, that would be really nice for filling out the teams a little bit more. I feel like the Tech Gods team always had a little bit more versatility, but they could kind of take each other's, like one of their 170s as a plus 30, and that would be quite good. Of course, we now know that the leader skills have been updated with this new meta. So one thing that I think could happen if these guys do get their EZA, and of course we have not yet seen a 200% leader EZA, so we still don't really know for sure what it is that they would do, but I could see them giving these guys the plus 30% becoming plus 50%, so that then they are giving Kamehameha characters the 220 to stats, which is currently the highest that we have in terms of stats for attack and defense. Obviously 250 is for HP, but that's for the new format for the actual Dokkan Fest LRs, so it makes sense for these guys just being EZAs to be coming in slightly under that. So that's all well and good, you know, we can speculate about the details when we find out. I mean, to be honest, we'll probably only find out for sure that these guys are getting EZAs when they're tweeted out, and then obviously they'll appear in a following data download. But the thing that has come to light, which makes me question even more now whether these guys are actually going to get an EZA, is that we recently had the release, or re-release I guess, because it was an old event, OG players will remember, the Training in the Clouds event. Now this event has pretty good link level rate, gives good XP. I've seen people raving like it's not great in terms of the link level rate compared to other stages, but because it's so fast, you can just play through multiple times, you can farm these proof of masteries. But I've seen people saying they're getting really good rates on link leveling new units. It costs a lot of stamina, per run. So in terms of stamina efficiency, it's not great. If you're a free-to-play player or you're at lower ranks, you're going to want to farm some of the previous, like, I think 35-6 is still good as like a general quest mode one. But this stage has been quite good for a lot of people. But the proof of mastery items can be traded in for a bunch of different things: dragon stones, kais, and then there's a bunch of EX skill orbs as well. Now, some of those EX skill orbs are for like AGL Super Vegito, character that we know already has an EZA in game. But one of the things that they mentioned on the actual stream, I need to find a better zoomed in image thing here, but I took this screenshot from the stream. There we go. So this is when they were talking about the Training in the Clouds event, and they mentioned there are EX skill orbs that can be equipped to characters that will undergo Extreme Z Awakening during the 10th anniversary campaign period. Now, like I said, we already know, right, there was skill orbs for the AGL Super Vegito, who has already received his Super EZA. There was also orbs for, I think, Buhan as well. Is it Buhan? Super Vegitos were definitely there. I'm looking back at the list now. Super Vegito. In fact, there isn't a Buhan one. Which ones are these bronze ones for? Interesting. So was it just Vegito and then the two characters that we're going to talk about next? I think it was. Interesting. So Super Vegito obviously got his Super EZA, and that's something that's already in game that we already know about. However, the next two sets of skill orbs that you can buy are for AGL Blue Evolution Vegeta, and then Physical GT Goku. Stupid Deliverance adverts. So yeah, Physical GT Goku and AGL Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, these guys have EX skill orbs that are available in the shop for the Proof of Mastery items. Now, obviously going by what was said on that stream, the EX skill orbs that have been added to this shop are only supposed to be for characters who are going to be EZAing during the 10th anniversary campaign. So the thing about that is, if AGL Blue Evolution Vegeta and Physical GT Goku are going to get EZAs during the celebration, now straight away, you know, you could be saying, well, you know, these are just going to be maybe some bonus EZAs that we get towards the end or something. However, everything else that we've been getting so far, I need to find a more zoomed out one. Have we got one here? There we go. All the ones that we've seen so far have been following the format of this roadmap, and this is everything that we know so far confirmed, right? So we've still got gaps for the Saiyan Saga, which we assume are the EZAs for Kaioken Goku Grey 8 Vegeta. We've got an Android/Cell Saga slot that's still spare. But as you can see, we have one spare slot for a Dragon Ball Super EZA or Super EZA, and one spare slot for a Dragon Ball GT EZA or Super EZA. And obviously, as I said at the very beginning, everyone has been going into this anniversary just assuming that that slot is going to be taken up by the physical Super Saiyan 4s, and then obviously the tech gods down in the bottom corner. But if AGL Blue Evolution Vegeta, who is a Dragon Ball Super character, gets his EZA, and Physical GT Goku gets an EZA, who's a GT character, that fills those slots on the roadmap, which then means there aren't any slots free for the 7th anniversary LRs. So this is what I was saying at the very beginning. I feel like this is a decision that would make the community go absolutely crazy, right? Because even if these guys got their EZAs and they were, like, you know, number 1 and 2, like best EZA TURs in the game, I feel like people would still be pretty furious that we didn't get the EZAs for these guys, especially because these guys for Super Saiyan 3 Goku's team, that giant 8-power team, desperately needs more buffs. And of course it breaks that chain of getting these previous anniversary LRs EZAing during the anniversaries going forward. So I think this would be a hugely unpopular decision, even if these EZAs were really, really good. But unless they're going to pull some kind of shenanigans with like a bonus thing in the EX part or something like that, there isn't room on the roadmap for all 4 of these characters to get EZAs. But by their own words spoken on the pre-stream, these characters who are getting EX skill orbs, it's because they're going to EZA during this celebration. I mean, that is literally word for word what they said in the translations that came up on the screen, right? the EX skill orbs are for characters who are going to EZA during this celebration, and you can get them for this Vegeta and this Goku. Now, I said at the beginning there's a couple of reasons why I think this may not be the case, despite this evidence to the contrary. Is first of all, I do think it would be very strange for them to EZA this Goku and not EZA the Vegeta as well, right? Because they released as a dual Dokkan Fest. I really don't understand. I don't know, have they actually ever done that before? EZA'd a dual Dokkan Fest, EZA, like an actual Dokkan Fest TUR, and not EZA'd the dual Dokkan Fest TUR that they came out with. I'm trying to think if there's ever been an example of that happening. So I think it would be very, very strange for them to do that. Now, this guy is a buff for Giant 8 Power, like he is on that team, so it would still be a buff for the Super Saiyan 4 Goku team. This guy, of course, would be on the Vegeta team, and because he transforms from Super Saiyan Blue to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, he wouldn't have the issue of not linking with the new Vegeta. Also, I should point out, I've kept saying EZA, but obviously for this AGL Vegeta, he already has an EZA, so it would be a Super EZA. So that's one of the things that, again, makes this come across as being less likely to happen, is that in terms of Super EZAs, we haven't even had one of the 120 leads get a Super EZA yet. So for them jump straight to this guy and him get a Super EZA, I feel like would be kind of wild. Now, if they were ever going to do it, like the 10th anniversary, I guess, you know, would be time to do something crazy like that. But it just feels very, very unlikely that this guy would get a Super EZA way ahead of all the other characters that would be in line to get one. But again, like I said, you know, the pre-stream, they said the EX skill orbs from this event, from the rewards, are for characters that are going to EZA during this celebration. Now, this guy, again, already has an EZA, so they didn't specifically say Super EZA, but it would have to mean that for this guy specifically. I mean, this guy's EZA would be great, don't get me wrong. I'd be super looking forward to it, but it doesn't make any sense to EZA this guy and not Vegeta, and there aren't 2 GT spots open on the roadmap anyway. Obviously, if there were, this guy could get an EZA and these guys get an EZA at the same time, and it wouldn't matter. It would just still be very weird that the Vegeta wasn't getting one. But there aren't 2 spots available for Dragon Ball Super, so these guys and Vegeta himself, like, they can't both get an EZA or Super EZA. Now, the one thing I have also seen people say, which could be a possibility, is we could get to the EX part of the anniversary celebration, which they have done previously. They don't always do one, but they could do an EX part where they just kind of reveal, like, they show the roadmap, it's all filled out now, and then it kind of, like, you know, the camera pans to the side and the roadmap, like, increases, and then we get, like, these EZAs show up, and then maybe even something else as well, like a Super EZA for an LR or something like that. That is definitely a possibility, but in terms of the roadmap that we know about right now and that we can see, there are not enough slots for all 4 of these characters to get an EZA, or Super EZA in your case. So if these guys truly are getting them during the celebration, as, you know, the stream and the rewards from the Training in the Clouds shop seem to imply, that would mean that these guys are not going to get an EZA during the anniversary, unless there is some crazy surprise twist at the end. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. You don't need to tell me that you would be upset or mad if this happens, because I imagine that would be the case for most people. But I mean, I guess if you would prefer these 2 guys to get an EZA and Super EZA, do let me know down below. But let me know your thoughts on this theory. Do you think that Dokkan would possibly do this? I think it would be a hugely unpopular choice, so that obviously does make me less inclined to believe that they would do it. But I mean, seeing the quality and feedback of some of the EZAs recently, like the Namek LRs, you know, some of the decisions for this anniversary have been great and some have been not so great. So who knows what will happen, but let me know what you guys think on this theory down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.